Hello. So I wanted to just come and say something that's been on my mind quite a lot today, and it's a phrase that some of you probably will have heard me talk about in the past, and it's that when business gets bumpy, learn to rise. When business gets bumpy, learn to rise. Now, unless you've had your head up your horse's backside for a while, you probably have been a bit like me and noticed that there's an awful lot of talk about recessions. There's an awful lot of talk about difficult economic situations at the moment. And there's also a massive load of fear and anxiety and everything else that brings. And I know even in my house, my husband works for Network Rail, so he's dealing with strikes, and it's just a crazy world at the moment. And so I wanted to touch base with you and your business and to help you at this time, because I know that the chances are that you are having a bit of a bumpy ride, or at least you're feeling that you're likely to be getting in a position where you're going to have a bumpy ride in the future, because we don't know what's going to happen economically. But I know one of the things that I was talking about in my emails last week is that sometimes we can go into a fight or flight or freeze response, and that's the worst thing that we can do in these situations, because it's almost like you're riding along on your horse. You notice that the horse is not going in a way that feels comfortable. It's a bit bumpy, perhaps. And if you were to suddenly just pull up sharp, you're going to unbalance yourself. You're going to unbalance the horse. It could end up terribly. And the same happens in business. So I want you to learn to rise, because you can get through even these bumpy situations, these difficult times. I've done it. I've run businesses through recessions and COVID, and we're all still here, and it can be done. But there's a few things that we need to do in order to be able to learn to rise and to get through these bumpy patches. So if you're watching, if you're listening, please do let me know. It always makes my day when I hear from you, or send me a little email, hello@jennybush.com, and just let me know if this resonated with you or if you thought this was useful. So I want you to imagine that you're learning to ride your horse again. You know, when you were going back right to the beginning and you were sitting on your horse and you were just going for a little ride and you were learning to rise and you were trotting. And trotting doesn't feel bouncy when you don't know how to ride. I don't know if anybody can remember how that was difficult, how awkward it was. I probably feel it a bit more because I've taught so many children to ride. But it's awkward, it's bouncy, it's bumpy, and it's a bit like where we are in our businesses, because most of the time, many of us are still learning, and we feel like we are just fluking it, learning it as we go, flying by the seat of our pants in businesses, because nobody's there showing us how to do all this stuff. So we've got that going on anyway, and now we hit this bumpy patch in business and we think, what do I do next? So much as if you were riding your horse and you were going along and you were riding, you would, if you felt unbalanced, if you felt it was a bit bumpy, you might stop and recompose yourself, ready to move forwards, or you might miss 2 beats and get onto the correct diagonal. You might just do something else and bail it. But hopefully you do one of those two. You'd either stop or you'd miss 2 beats and then you carry on. So which is it you feel that you need most? Now, my preference at this stage, because it feels like there is a lot of people who are just retracting at the moment, who are feeling that, I would say stop. Now, as I said, that's not a sharp pull up, that's not a freeze. Stop is a forward movement, much as in when we're riding our horses, we're going to do it intentionally. We are going to stop with the intention that we're going to move forwards into our halt, and then we're going to carry on with our businesses, and we are going to get back on track faster. So this isn't just a pull up and, oh my gosh, I nearly died moment. This is I'm going to go back to stop, and we're going to work out what we need to do in order to stop business feeling bumpy right now. So then once you're in that stop, what I want you to do is think about your business and how we're going to get that balance by getting some perspective right now. Because the first thing that you do, if you were riding your horse and your horse felt bumpy, is you're probably going to check the horse is not lame. You're going to look at its feet. You're going to pick them out. You're going to make sure that the horse hasn't got anything wrong with it. And so we're going to do that with our clients. So that is your first step. I want you to go and lean into your clients. How are they? Because the chances are they're probably listening to the news and everything else just as much. They're probably worried that they've got their limited income. They're worried that they're not going to make enough money too. So go and lean into them. What are they saying? What are they feeling? What do they need right now that you can help with? Now, this is where I know a lot of equine businesses struggle, because at this point they go, but I'm a like to have service. I'm a leisure service. I'm a nice to have. I'm not essential. My product, my offer is not essential. So now we need to think about the messaging for it. And we need to see what the transformation it is and how we can help people perceive it as something that's not just a nice to have, as something that they need to keep going, as something that's going to support them right now. Because normally in good times, yeah, you can push people to dream for the stars, but when things aren't going so great, they're likely to feel a lot of pain and difficult, and they're going to want those painkillers. So how can we bring that part into what you do? So if, for example, you are a riding instructor and you're thinking, well, everybody's going to start cancelling my lessons because they're not important, they don't need them, they need to feed their horses and whatever. I want you to perhaps think about leaning into your clients. What are they saying? What are they struggling with? And how you can now switch your messaging a little bit. Because actually, at times when it's like this for people need that stress relief. People need that support. They need time out. They need some escapism from what's going on. Can you talk about that? Can you use that to help people to go, yeah, actually, that's where I'm going to put my money? Because here's the truth. Even now, people have money. They have money. They still have money. They're just a little bit worried about now. Maybe they need to worry about where to spend it, but they've still got money. They're still going to be buying things, and they're still going to be spending it. Yeah. And the chances are there's a lot of people who are still going to be just fine. So if you can help them to deal with what's going on in their thoughts, they're going to look to you to buy and to book and to still see your product and your offer and your service. So if anybody needs any help on that, please do let me know. I'm happy to brainstorm that with you, or head into the Stable Foundations hub and join my groups there, where we can go through that and how we can make sure that your products and your services aren't something that are nice to have, that people can actually still see the benefit in them, even during difficult times, because that's how you're going to stabilize your business right now. So first of all, check with your customers, lean into those customers, see where they're at, what they need right now. Then I want you to lean into you. I want you to really lean into you, because this is where we need to look at strategies. We need to look at your stories and what you're telling yourself, because that's going to matter in how you move forward and how you take action. Because if you're sitting there going, oh, nobody's got any money, nobody's going to buy, you're not going to put your business out there, you're not going to market, and you're not going to get people in. Yeah. So you need to look at your strategy, what you need, and what's going to make a biggest difference for you. So what have you done in the past that's worked really well? What didn't work so well that you can actually get rid of? Let's use this as an opportunity for you to really slim down and to go into how I can build my business, how I can make my business even better at this time. So what is your strategy? And I'll often talk about my Gallup strategy in a way that I just keep this like my little checklist that I go through in my head. That just helps me to stay on track. So it's G, get in front of people. Are you marketing? How's your marketing? Is that okay? Think about that. A, aids to sell. So are you putting your leg on and inviting people to work with you? Yeah, that's what that means. Am I actually saying, this is how you work with me? This is how you book in. This is what you need to do if I'm the right fit for you. Are you doing all those things to actually get you the bookings? Yeah, look at that. Then L is looking after you. So are you looking after yourself? And this is a biggie for many of us equestrians. This is a massive one, because we're so good at looking after our horses, looking after everybody else, and putting ourselves last. But we cannot get through this if we have put ourselves last. You can't manage time. You can manage your energy. You can't manage time. You can manage your energy. So look after yourself, because that's going to manage your energy, which is going to mean you're going to be able to do a lot more. And I know from experience, I know that really, really, really is key. Yeah. To manage your energy, look after yourself. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you having enough to eat and drink? Are you eating the right things? And then how is your mindset? How is your mindset? Because again, at this time, in this particular time when things are a little bit bumpy, you need to do your mindset work more than ever. You need to be checking in and say with those stories, because those stories are going to affect your strategies. Those stories are going to affect your strategies, because if you're saying nobody's got money for that, nobody's going to book or buy that, nobody's going to do that, why would anybody do that? You're then not going to do the things that bring you in, that could bring you in money. Whereas if you're going, of course they would, why wouldn't they? And it's going to make a big difference. So think about your mindset in general and get some support for that. If I can help you, please do. I can help with one-to-one, or if you join the Stable Foundations, there's a lot of stuff on mindset in there. And of course, Stable Foundations Plus is the next level up, which includes group support. It is closed, but if you join the Stable Foundations, it gives you an option to join it now. I won't be selling it. Which gives you the group support, so you can check in with me every other week. Or if you want more than that, I do have Stable Foundations Pro, but I'm not taking any more one-to-ones till September. But if you want details about that, do let me know. So think about your strategy. Have you got the support? Have you got the mindset skills? Now, if it's money that you think, I need to do some work on my money mindset here, good news is that coming very, very soon, like literally, hopefully in the next 7 days, because I'm on a time scale. I've been writing this. I've been writing a money mindset course that helps you to go through things. It's going to be very similar to the stuff that's in the Stable Foundations Hub, which is just like, sorry, I've got itchy nose. Small 10-minute little snippets of videos. So you can take tiny small steps. If you've only got 10 minutes a day to work on your business, you can do that. And they're just small videos. Or if you want to binge them all, you'll be able to do that. That should be coming in the next week. And it's a money mindset course. And it's available to all members of the Stable Foundations Hub, which is my £7 membership, So you can get it for just £7 if you join the Stable Foundations Hub. And all you need to do is go to stablefoundationshub.com and join them. Okay, so back to getting things bumpy. So we're checking in with you. So marketing, G, get in front. Marketing. A, aids to sell. Are you actually helping people to make that next step? L, looking after you. Yeah. Are you okay? Is your mindset okay? Are your stories okay? Because they're going to affect all your strategies. Remember, really, really matters what you're telling yourself, what you believe. They will make a massive difference. That's why I've got raise the bar here. Bar stands for belief, action, and then review. Belief, action, review. Okay, so looking after you, looking after your clients comes next. Yeah, a lot of the time you think of putting your clients first. It doesn't. You have got to come first. If you are not right, and I know my clients will testify to this, I do this myself. I have not been very well. A couple of weeks ago, there was a few days where I really had a bout of fatigue that was pretty bad for me, and I haven't had fatigue that bad for a long, long time. And I pretty much took a week off and I did the bare minimum in my business. But I still managed to serve my clients because I was looking after myself. I didn't do all the other stuff. If you go and check out my social media, you'll probably notice that there wasn't stuff happening. There weren't podcast episodes. There weren't videos. I made sure that I looked after myself because I know that I can't serve my clients unless I'm looking after myself. So look after you, look after your clients. Then O is for operations and procedures. So making sure that the back end of your business is streamlined, it's methodical, it all works. So this is almost like when you go to do a horse, yeah, you have a specific way of mucking out because you know that there's a certain way that you're more efficient. If you just turn up and then you hang around the stable and you go, oh, how do I muck out this stable? And then you try and pick up some of it with your hands and you go, oh, this isn't working. And then you get the fork and then you pile it up and then you think, oh, I need a wheelbarrow. That is not methodical. That's not methodical. That's not a good way of having things going. So think about your business. Have you got it working in a way that is efficient? Yeah, because you know the same as mucking out a stable. If you have an efficient way, if you know that when you turn up to the stable, you grab your tools, you bring your tools over to the stable, you take the water buckets out so they don't get full of rubbish, then you take out your drop-ins, then you put your bed up, you know it's done 15 minutes. And the same in your business, having those systems, having time to sit down and put those systems in place matters. But say that's step 5, that's operations. So G, get in front of people. A, aids to sell. L, look after you. L, look after your clients. O, operations. And then P, your profit should follow. Your profit should follow. And all the money stuff. And I know I don't really like to put it till last. the money tracking, because I think it's something that you should do every day. But I would much rather have all the other stuff in place, because when that's all in place, the profit happens. The profit just happens, and you can then fine tune how you're doing all of that. So think about those as your strategy. So once you've got all those, you've felt into your clients, you know where they're at, you've checked in with you've checked in with how everything's going, you've gone through the Gallup strategy, you should then be able to ride forward in your business and get through any bumpy patch, any difficult economic climate thing, any difficult personal thing. It works for too, because let's face it, business is never going to be perfect. We're humans after all. There's going to be times when life happens, when things happen, and we need to be able to go through it. But when business gets bumpy, learn to rise. So much like when you're learning to ride a horse, if you're struggling to rise your trot, you're either going to miss 2 beats and get back on the correct diagonal, or you're going to come forwards to a stop, So it's strategic, and then you're going to look at those things, you're going to get that perspective, and you're going to make sure that you are really successful. So I hope this has helped. Please do let me know if you found this useful. And of course, I'd love to see you on the inside of Stable Foundations Hub. If it's something you would like, say it's just £7 a month, and all you need to do is visit www.stablefoundationshub.com, or you can find it on my website, which is just jennybush.com, and find out more about that. If you'd like any more information on how I can help you, do just send me a message. You can find me on all good places, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or just hello@jennybush.com, because I am here for you. I want to make sure that you have an amazing business, and I'm really, really grateful that you stuck with me to listen to this little rant. But yeah, so business is going to get bumpy, but we can all learn to rise. Remember, you've got it, and I'll see you really soon.